Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly and welcome to West Hill Golf Club and this video on 5 tips to help you hit your driver longer. Now the advice in this video comes courtesy of PGA Pro Alex Elliott. He offers some really simple and effective ways to get a little bit more yardage off the tee. But before we get into looking at those tips, we wanted to reveal some data given to us by Arcos that shows some of the average driving distances for both men and women. And really what this reveals is that across the age ranges, lower handicappers hit the ball further. So it stands to reason that if you can improve your technique to find some extra speed, you should also be able to improve as a golfer as well. If you're interested in this data, there are some links in the description below to some more in-depth articles on the Golf Monthly site. Alternatively, please do feel free to hit the pause on this video now to take a look at what these numbers say. Right, let's get started. Okay, Alex, do you want to start by hitting one for us? Because the first of our tips is actually an equipment related one and it relates to the loft of your driver. And I mean, I'm not sure if you can see that through the camera, but Alex has that kind of high launch, low spin ball flight that everyone is looking for that delivers good distance. But there's something that people need to know here about finding exactly the right loft for them, isn't there? Yeah, and it comes to people who swing at a relatively low swing speed. If we swing it at a low swing speed, we then potentially will launch it quite low. Yes. So if we're launching it low, one thing that we can do to actually help us hit it further without changing anything in our swing is going up half a degree or a degree with our driver to help us launch it a little bit higher, get a little bit more spin, also a little bit more forgiveness. Yeah, I think it's a really important point this, because those days of people standing there saying, oh, I play a 9-degree stiff, they're well and truly gone. No one really cares what loft your driver is. No. Actually, what you want is the right loft for you, and it is different for different people. So I guess best thing to do, go for a fitting or go to a range where you can see some of those figures for yourself. 100%. I think fitting would be our ideal scenario, but if you've not got a chance to get a fitting, I mean most ranges now have some sort of launch device that tells you how far the ball goes. Just simply on a modern driver, go, right, okay, I'm on 9.5 now, try half a degree, try a degree, and just see which one gives you the best results and what one makes you feel better about hitting it, because that's a big thing too. Yeah, and if you can get that combination of flight, by the right launch angle and the right spin for your game, you will hit the ball further. Right, so the next one on our list refers to angle of attack and something called spin loft. Now this might seem quite technical, so Alex, can you explain it in a way that we can all understand? Of course, so let's think about it in most simple terms, like a 2D model. So we've got our ball that will be sort of teed up, let's say here. Most of us know we're looking to hit up on the golf ball. With a driver, you're looking to hit slightly up on the ball, right? Exactly. So if we say most golfers, red being our angle of attack, yellow being the loft of our driver impact, most of us hit down a little bit, and by the way, I'm guilty of this sometimes. Right, hitting down on the ball too much. Right. So it's coming here, hitting down the golf ball too much, and then sort of adding a lot of loft. Okay. So if we're a golfer with a lot of speed, if we have a big spin loft, we're gonna get that ball flight as like, and especially into wind, really feel like we can't get that golf ball going forward. Yeah, that ball that goes vroom, and goes straight up into the air. So, but you've just told us in the previous tip to add a bit more loft to the driver, or for some people to add a bit more loft to the driver. So what do we need to do here? So I would look at it this way. If we're starting off at this game and we're thinking, right, okay, how can I get immediate results if I'm a lower swing player? First point is great because we're going to get a higher launch. Okay, we start to increase our swing speed as our mechanics improve. We then can think about our angle of attack and sort of our loft of our club at impact. And as we get a faster swing speed, hitting up on the ball more, lowering our dynamic loft to our loft of our club at impact is going to make us way more efficient. Okay, so you need to hit slightly up on the ball. Begs the question, give us a quick tip for hitting a bit more up on it. And really nice and simple, all I would think about here is, where's my bottom of the arc? Can I feel like I'm trying to take a little bit of a brush of the ground before the ball on a practice swing, then over the ball, simply just focus maybe half an inch behind the ball and allow you to hit up. Okay, go on then, hit one for us so we can see, hopefully, I don't know whether we will be able to see it, but just slightly hitting up on it. A little bit of focus, brush that ground just before on the practice swing, then away. Lovely. Yeah, if you can find that little bit more of an upward hit on the ball, you should be able to hit the ball a little bit further. Now, because angle of attack is so important with the driver, we've got another tip for you. Yep. Alex, what is it? Nice and simple. Get a piece of tubing, a bit of a noodle there. I
put a tee peg in the ground, and then I just put it right on the end of my basket of balls there.
Okay.
All we're trying to do is imagine we're sweeping up on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, important thing here is we're not looking to sort of lean back and get it in the air. So a really great feeling to get that is if you stud to the golf ball nice and athletically as you can, make your backswing, start your downswing, place the club just outside your right foot. Now drag, 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 then sweep up. You can really see how here I'm putting loads of force, loads of power, and feel that the club can then whip round.
Yeah, and what's interesting, just looking at you doing it, Alex, is that the angle of attack is good as well, isn't it? It's not like you by doing this drill, you can't come over the top. You can't be coming down on the ball.
Couldn't do this.
Yeah.
Trying to match that.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like an all-in-one here.
Yeah.
Path help, face help, angle of attack. So up, down, I can't come over the top, drag, up, pose.
Yeah, and if you can implement that feel into your swing, no doubt about it, you'll hit longer drives. The unavoidable reality, if you want to hit the ball further, is that you're going to need to find a bit of extra speed.
Yeah.
And there's actually a fault here that players make, and you've got a fix for it.
Yeah.
Alex, explain what we're talking about here.
So the fault would be how many of us feel like, right, okay, I've got a drive in my hand, I want to hit this really hard, and we try and hit it hard from up here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to feel as though we're a gather of speed into the ball. So a nice analogy, Neil, for this is, see, I've got two golf balls up here. I'm going to hit the inside one as you're looking at this on camera, but I'm looking to peak at the far golf ball, my speed.
Okay, so you're avoiding that temptation to sort of attack it too hard at the start of the downswing. You're turning on the speed just that little bit later.
Yeah, right? And I would make some really slow practicings where I go slow, slow, speed right at the bottom.
That's a really good way of thinking about it, actually, isn't it? And you can hear, hopefully you can hear through the microphones there, that the sound the club makes is a bit later in the swing, and that's really what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Okay, go on then, hit one.
I really feel a mega practice swing. Slow, fast, peak the speed here.
Straight down the middle. Alex has managed to marry speed with accuracy there, and if you can do that, you'll shoot lower scores. Right, so the last one on our list refers to something called the X Factor stretch, and it's that kind of secret ingredient that will add extra speed to your drives without costing you control. It's something that a lot of the best players in the world do incredibly well. Yeah. What is it?
So essentially, if you looked and reference my blue alignment stick and my red alignment stick, it's that position at the top of the backswing here where our hip ply and our shoulder line, the best players, the longer players, create a bigger X.
Right, okay, so there's a difference between the amount the shoulders are turning and the amount the hips are turned. And it's at the start of the downswing, isn't it, that you're looking to just increase that difference between those two angles.
Exactly, the bigger the separation we get between lower and upper, I think the technical term would be disassociation between our two lines, the more this club can get that feeling of being sort of whipped through.
Okay, so how can people work on it?
So I think a really nice simple one, if you haven't got alignment sticks, you could do this where you turn to the top, you place your hands on the wall, try and turn your hips, but keep your chest to the wall. But if you have got some alignment sticks and you're at the range, can we just go to the top of our backswing and really feel as though we keep our blue alignment stick pointing down to the ground where it is for as long as possible, and then just allow it where that tension's built, and then through.
Yeah, and it's a good technical point as well, isn't it? That if you can do that, then the club is less likely to be thrown out and over the top. It's more likely to come down, and you're likely to hit the ball on a sort of slightly into outswing path, is that right?
100%. Like, the biggest causes of bad swings for most amateur golfers is the body's not moving the way we want it to. So if you can create a bigger stretch, you're not only going to get more power, but you're actually going to move this golf club a lot more consistently into the golf ball, and then therefore predict what happens at impact better, more fairways, longer drives.
There you go. So there you have it, some really simple and effective tips there from Alex to help you swing the club that little bit faster, hit the ball a little bit further, all things you can try when you're next down at the range. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.